Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Chelsea and this is going to be part of my series Not All Mums. It has been a minute since I've uploaded, and if you're new here, stick around, subscribe because I'm hoping to be back. Yeah, press that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. But yeah, it's been a long time. Adult life has been doing a lot, but I'm back, I'm here, and today I'm going to be talking about gentle parenting. Woo! So I've got my phone in my hand because I just brought up this thing which I'm going to put on the screen so you can have a quick look. It's about gentle parenting, it's about the topic. So I didn't really even know that gentle parenting was a term until I guess I became a parent, and not even just as I became a parent, as Rose became a bit older, I was following like different accounts on Instagram and I kept seeing this term gentle parenting like being thrown around. So I was like, what is this? And from what I can see, obviously there's loads of definitions, so don't quote me on anything. I'm just giving my thoughts and opinions on this whole matter. It was just parenting with a different approach, I suppose. But the more like I sort of dug deeper into it and thought about it, I just thought, why is it called gentle parenting? Because it's just parenting your child and respecting their boundaries and wishes. I guess it's a bit more than that, but I feel like that's the general premise of it. Yeah, respecting your boundaries and wishes. And I think it's kind of getting a bad rep at the moment. People are like, oh, I've tried gentle parenting, but my child doesn't want to be gently. But I think one thing for me that I've realized is that what's difficult about parenting for me and parenting my child in a way that I want to parent in is that having a child has reminded me of my childhood. Some of the things I experienced that I did like, that I didn't like, and I feel like you are discovering more about yourself, things that you don't like, things that you do like, whilst also parenting your child alongside discovering this new version of you as a parent, as a mum, and other aspects like of your life. So I feel like that's where the difficulty sort of lays for me and maybe for some other parents. So for example, your child's crying, my child's crying. Initially my response would be like, why are you crying? A gentle parent way suggests that you shouldn't ask your child why they're crying. You should say, I understand that you're upset at whatever right now, talk to me about it. And I guess that's how I would have liked to be treated when I was crying. I'm not saying that I was mistreated, I'm just saying if I was crying, I'm obviously upset for a reason. So instead of saying stop crying, which is my automatic response because that's how I was parented, I want to say, why are you crying? But this sort of conflict and difficulty arises because that is what I'm so used to, so that's what I'm gonna respond with naturally, like, why are you crying? Like, there's nothing to cry about. So I feel, yeah, that's where the conflict occurs, and then you're reflecting like as a parent, like, oh my gosh, I want to do so much better, but I can't do so much better, I'll try the next time. And that's also alongside parenting. So I think the difficulty occurs in the parent you want to be, how you were parented as a child, and how your child reacts to how you parent. So it is a lot. And also involved in all of that is loads of emotions, because sometimes your child will be acting crazy. Let's just be honest, these children we were once children. Now I understand why my mum's like but sometimes children do crazy things, and that will elicit a response from us, and how we respond affects how they respond. So you have to really be able to process your own emotions, allow space for the child to process their emotions, and then it just becomes a lot. And I think also, if you parent your child, if you don't get a break from a child as well, I think that's when sometimes frustrations and everything can build up, and then it all just becomes a bit of a poop show, to be honest. But I think the premise, I don't think it should be called gentle parenting. I think that's when something's given a title like this, then people feel like they have to live up to some sort of standard, like, I have to uphold this. And then if you're not meeting the standard and falling short, I mean, yeah, if you're falling short of that standard or that title, then it's like, oh, I'm not good at this, I'm failing at this. But I feel like, as I said, the general premise of it is literally allowing your child to show emotions, respecting their boundaries, but also putting your boundaries in place. Because I've seen a lot of people say like, oh, if you gentle parent, again, I don't call it that. I'm just like, I'm treating my daughter how I like to be treated. But does gentle parenting allow your child to be spoiled? Does it cause your child to be spoiled? And I think if your child is like crying because they can't get sweets and you're like, I understand why you're upset right now, you can't have those sweets, instead of, I understand why you're upset right now, have these sweets so you can't be upset. I feel like those are two different ways of parenting. You're giving in to your child and giving them something that they're not supposed to have, versus you're allowing them to express their emotions but telling them, this isn't for you, this is for me to raise, sweets aren't for babies, they're for mummy. So I feel like those are two different completely things. I feel like, yeah, if you continually give in to your child's, I don't even want to say emotional needs, because wanting sweets is not an emotional need. If you continue giving to your child's wants and wishes without setting boundaries, then of course they're going to be spoiled, because they're going to think that whatever they want they can have, and that's not life. It's not a good lesson and transferable throughout life. And obviously, yeah, they're going to grow up spoiled thinking, I want this, mummy and daddy allow me to have stuff when I cry or when I have tantrums and strop, so I'm going to do that. So I feel like, yeah, when you differentiate and you break things down, then it definitely makes sense. And I always try to think, like, if, like, Rose is approaching 1.5 and she knows what she wants, and she has started like having tantrums, or people say don't call them tantrums, just call them meltdowns. They're emotionally irregulated. I feel like there's so many terminologies, a lot of terminology around this whole topic, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, because obviously people who are like child psychologists and professionals in this field will come up for terminologies to explain children's behaviour and to, I guess, put it across to parents. But I feel like you have to put it across in layman's terms, like make it simple, make it like bite-sized, so that people don't feel overwhelmed by all this information and feel like they need to know X, Y, Z. But yeah, I think, like, if your child is, like, as I say, raises constantly having meltdowns, tantrums, and if you read the science behind brain development as well, you will know that a child's brain does not develop, I don't know what the age is, but it takes a long time to develop. So then it then means that when they're showing all these emotions and they get mad, angry, which is normal emotions, let's be honest, they're not like misbehaving, because then we consider adults are misbehaving, because we get angry, we cry, we have breakdowns, we do all these things. But then when you transfer it onto a child, then it's like, oh, they're misbehaving, but they're not. They're just showing emotions. It may be a bit more wild than the everyday adult, or maybe it's not, depending on the setting that you're in, because adults behave like this. We just may not see it walking down the street as children have tantrums in the supermarket or at the park or whatever, but it's just normal behavior. And I think, again, how you react and handle the behavior is a big part of how your child then learns from when they are angry, sad or upset or whatever. But it takes a lot of work. I'm not going to lie and say that I'm perfect, but I see all these accounts online where they're like, I did this and I did this, and I think it just creates this expectation that all parents, or that parents should hit this certain standard. But again, if you're comparing yourself to people online, obviously people don't show like their true self online. They don't share all their wins and losses. They don't share maybe their child has had like 5 tantrums that day, and the one that they may be talking about, maybe the one that they handled the best, if it's like a gentle parenting account or whatever. So you just never know. But I just think the biggest thing for me is just treating your child with respect and boundaries, no matter how old they are, respecting their wishes. And if you say like, no, you can't have that, I think you should at least try to provide an explanation, not just say no. I think when you don't give a reason, I'm not saying you have to always give reasons, but when you give a reason and an explanation behind things, and it's like, okay, I understand, like you can't go out at 11 o'clock at night. Okay, this is not for toddlers, but you can't go out at 11 o'clock at night because it's dangerous. Not just no, you can't go out. Do you know what I mean? I feel like then it provides a bit of a basis, and then when they're stewing in their room or mad at you, then they can at least have that reason for why, and then they can like think through it and process it. So yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts on gentle parenting. What are your thoughts? Comment down below, let me know. Like, I love talking about these things. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you do, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.